Hey, good morning, everybody. Oh gosh, almost can't talk. Good morning, and bonus trade here today before we wrap up. Just teasing that out there. I got something at the end. Hang out and welcome everybody. Kate and Larry, Andreas, Brian, Rex, Philip, Maurizio, Thrifty, Rosalind, Wade, Don, Dan, Francois, Brian, Rob, Robin, Robin. I love it. Anyway, Dave, Mary, Sergio, Ted, Don, Gary, Valerie, Ed, JB, Amy. Wow, I got everybody here today. Welcome, everybody. David. And how's it going, everybody? Omar, Major John, Rongamer, Robert, George, Merle, Gregory. If you want to say hey, chat with me like all these 5 people, click the button over here. You can be a subscriber on the channel. And if you want to ask questions, this is the place to do it. Now, if you want me to go through a ticker specifically or a trade specifically, that we do that 30 minutes of awesome on Tuesdays, which was last night, 5 p.m. But questions about the market, questions about what's going on, questions about anything, fair game. I'll do my best to address them. Of course, I'm not going to do necessarily do a deep dive into anything. There were some questions about the SVXY thing. Yesterday, I went through that chart all the way back to COVID. Make sure you go see the morning stream from yesterday. It wasn't 30 minutes of awesome. That was on the morning stream. So this is not a request show. I don't plan on doing requests. So just so you know. But I do have a number of what's popping and what's dropping today. We had Airbnb get after it. We had SMCI report a 10-for-1 split and go down. And all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. Remember, just because I predict it doesn't mean it'll come true. I may never get another one right again, but I get lucky a lot. And this presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. You may lose a significant amount of money if you do that. So, if you desire personal financial advice, you need somebody to tell you what to do. It's not what I do. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor. And looking at the calendar for today, it's benign. Roughly benign all week. Just kind of, not really much happening as far as economic news-wise. But, we do, in fact, have some earnings this week. And, we've had Supermicro coming out after the close yesterday, Airbnb, and it looks like an Airbnb bust. We got Wynn, Devon, Reddit, and then Shopify this morning, Walt Disney this morning, Nora Novadisk, some GLP-1 drug stuff this morning, and this afternoon, Robinhood, Maglite, Plovin, I don't know, Digital Turbine, HubSpot, Oxy, some energy, Dutch Bros down there, some coffee, and tomorrow morning, Lily, more GLP-1, Plug, Power, Datadog, Churney, so less stuff. We get Elf Beauty, Soundhound, Unity, Paramount, and the Trade Desk firing off later in the week there, and Canopy Growth, Nikola, Embrar coming in on Friday. So there you go. This is the week right here, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, unemployment never matters. Not really. I mean, you can think it matters, but we get that every week, and it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. It's a made-up number. They revise it 3 or 4 or 5 times before it finally settles down. And this is what I was looking at last night when I wrapped up. And let's go to the morning show. Morning movers list. And so S&P, as I warned yesterday, we could bounce up and hit that right there. That's the danger zone. If we do that and stop there, watch out for this. Right there. All right, just recycling back to that. Airbnb, well, if we get below that low, this is not going to be good. Airbnb can bust it on down to here. Right down in here. And we'll see what happens, but not looking too good for Airbnb for a continuation of any kind of bullishness that we may have had off this low back here in December of 22. That was very overlapping. What do I mean by overlapping? I mean this high. Let's just grab my red pen. This high and this low overlap. All right. Now we've got this high and this low overlapping. See how that, and that's what I mean by when I say overlapping. You'd be like, well, there was a head and shoulders in there. Yeah, that's a common reversal pattern in the market, and it's an Elliott wave reversal pattern. It's a 4-5 or a BC, and then a 1-2 or an AB on the next move. That's usually what makes those form. And this looks kind of like it's a 1, 2, 3, and we get a 4 and a 5, and then some continuation, and then a bigger down from there. So be careful. Be careful. Airbnb could be in a long-term downtrend here if we kind of confirm this and then extend it on down. So watch out, baby. That's what I got to say on Airbnb. SMCI, well, if you're new here, I've been saying that we're probably going down, back down to where we consolidated last summer. And apparently the market wasn't impressed with their reverse split. Or I mean, they're not reverse split, with their split, 10 for 1. I mean, this is going to put it back down to $52 a share. Doesn't really do anything to the value of the company. There seems to be some misnomer in how a split works. Basically, they take their 58 million shares and make it 585 million shares that are available. 10 for 1. Just move the decimal place, and the market cap stays the same. So what does that do? It divides the share price by 10. So instead of having what is $538 a share, you'll now have $53.5 a share. If that was to split today. But they're going to do it in a couple weeks. So we'll see where the share price gets to by then. Hey, that's, I guess they wanted to be like all the other big dogs, AVGO, NVIDIA, whatever. And they may end up doing a reverse split if their share price drops back out. So just watch out. While they're growing like crazy, their net profit not super high there. COGS is huge. Like they have a lot of COGS, and then gross profit 1.2 billion, operating expense, operating income 700. So net income just down to 640 million. We'll see what happens. Projected right there. Looks like they made about 7 million more for 2024. See what happens here. See what happens. I don't know if they can keep growing like that if AI has problems. You know, NVIDIA's chips having problems. So we'll see. I still think that the chart went a little cart in front of the horse, and we're gonna bring it back down to here. Probably. Alrighty. Now it can, I mean, this company could still grow quite a bit. You know, my law of big numbers doesn't really apply. When we look at this, you know, $36 billion, you know, you can make that $72 billion pretty quickly. You can make that, you know, it could even go up to $360 billion pretty easily. You know, 10x from where we are. So that all can happen, but it's going to have to, you're going to have the support of the people to get there. So it's not like Apple, where a 10x for Apple, that's going to be a $31 trillion company. I don't see that happening. Not in the near future. I mean, maybe 20, 30 years down the road, but I'm not sure we're going to see that this year, next year, year after, probably not, you know. If we did it in 10 years, I'd be pretty surprised. So, law of big numbers. You know, you can double and triple, even 10x something like SMCI, but 10xing something that's at 3 trillion. The hyper growth days, Apple probably done. Same for This one's probably not going to 10x again. Maybe $25 trillion. So there's reasons why these kind of stopped going higher abruptly. It's just hard to go higher. I mean, so anyway, circling back around, back to the beginning. So that's Airbnb, that's SMCI, and the Nikkei, the Japanese stock market, finally getting a nice update. Like yesterday, hitting circuit breakers, but ended up with a little doji by the end of the day there. And nice move up today. And this is kind of like, grabbed some of yesterday. We had a red doji, I think it was, right when I was talking last night during 30 Minutes of Awesome. So this may come back up, retest the roadmap line. We did. And I mean, look, you zoom out, look at it a little bit. From this low, right back here in March of 22, to this high right up here, we did a 618 retrace. That was a substantial retrace. Now, if we're going to continue bullishness here, that was just the first, wave 1, wave 2, and we can go wave 3, and that could be mega higher for the, however you say it, Nike. I've never even heard anybody say it, actually. Talking about a move up in this target area right up here. Could be in the cards. And it's not going to go instantly there. It's going to go kind of on this projection, that kind of speed. So we could be talking out here in 26, 27, 28. You get back on the train here. It's not going to be without pullbacks. There'll be pumps and bumps along the way. So, buddy, breaking higher. Oh, man, I love it. Market opening already. Wow. Starting late and getting into it. So SVXY, FTNT, I'll have to look at that one. And breaking above. So we had a little hammer doji, croquet hammer thing down here on SVXY. Moving up, moving up. I'd like to see this one get back up in this zone in the next few days and maybe make some steady progress toward breaking back above this consolidation here. This has nothing to do really with chart patterns. This is all to do with VIX. It's inverse VIX, and as VIX plummets back down to earth, as volatility subsides in the markets, SVIX will climb. All right. That's how it goes. Now, circling back around, ES, where are we at? Well, hey, good morning. Good morning. Swinborn and Sledge here with me. Good to see everybody. So yesterday I outlined a resistance point and a support point. Did that during 30 Minutes of Awesome. Didn't break above, didn't break below overnight. Interesting. I find it very interesting. We were dipping down. Looked like we could have gone down further. Didn't do it. This just continues it's almost like a channel at this point. And channels not necessarily the best to work with here. So we're kind of chugging in this channel for now. Not sure how we're going to break down that pattern. It's so overlappy. I started out talking about how Airbnb, the highs and the lows were overlapping. You have to skip a high and a low. That high, that low. Then you go back here, this high, this low. See how that overlap right there between those two, overlap right here between these two. That overlap is choppiness in the market. It's indecision. Now we haven't made a higher high yet, and we haven't made, so we don't have the next set. This high and what happens over here, I don't know. Big question mark. And in case you tuned in late, I do have a bonus trade coming up at the end. Just want to rehash that. Make sure you stick around at the end if you want to know the details. Dun, 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 dun. In queue. Same kind of overlappy garbage. Golly, man. I don't like this. So we're set. It seems we've got some resistance pretty firm right here on NQ. Need to break through that with some gusto, some enthusiasm to get that move up. But we still have that danger zone up here, and I colored that red on ES and S&P. That's a red zone. Like, that can result in a much bigger down in the market. That's an important resistance right there. It's important resistance on ES. It's important resistance on S&P. And S&P right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still haven't broken through the 15-minute. ES, on the other hand, working on breaking through the 30-minute. We rejected pretty hard off of it yesterday. Came back up, rejected again, come back up, trying to get through it, trying really hard. Got a little arc to it. Then what's next? Got to get through the 1 hour. It's on up here. Then we got to get through the 4 hour way up here, which is at, this is why it's such a danger zone. It's right up there in the danger zone, 4 hour. And then the daily is down below us. So we don't have the daily resistance, but we did get below the 4 hour quite substantially. So that's what we're working with in the next couple days. Probably this rally could take us a week, maybe 2, to get up into the zone. And then if we turn down from here, that could be a crash scenario. I warned about this very, 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 very adamantly yesterday, that this might, if we turn down from this right here, we may have a crash scenario. And it could be within the next 2 weeks or so that we come up here, test it, and then plummet out into the abyss. So be careful out there. The down we had may be nothing compared to what we could do. What's the thing? I don't know. Like maybe a war, maybe a nuclear weapon, maybe who knows? All right, I don't know what might be the thing, the catalyst, the reason in the news. But it's I mean, COVID was the last reason we did a big crash. This one, I don't know. Like I don't see the reason coming, but I see it on the chart, the potential setup. Could it be a long-term grind down? Yeah, it could be not a fast crash. It could be a slow crash that takes us freaking forever to get to the bottom of. But it's the potential's here, and usually if we're going to set this up, usually it's going to be pretty wicked and fast. And at least part of it's going to be really fast. So just keep throwing that out there. Oil. Don't usually look at TLT. Don't really care. It doesn't move enough to make much money. And CL still set up to go lower. Still set up for oil to go lower. Maybe get a little retrace. And at this point, I kind of expect it to make a lower low than what we had right back here in May of 23, year and 3 months ago. GC, this, retesting that breakout may come down to retest the uptrend of lows. This is very precarious here, you might say, on GC. Now, I don't usually talk about silver in the mornings, but this one has the opportunity to form a bounce, break through the 618, and go rallying strongly up to the 35 area. And silver is known for going at light speed on ascents. Like it usually goes rocketing higher extremely fast. So that one right there, setting up the potential break above the 618 would be the confirmation, back above 30. 35 would be the target up there. And it could exceed the target. 35 has been the target I've been looking for gosh, like 2 years. So Bitcoin working on getting back above the roadmap line on the daily. BTC USD. Looking at the spot markets. That's the futures market, the spot market. Still got a ways to go to get back up there. Could have been the final flush out. We'll need to move up and a retest the roadmap line from the top to really confirm that we're probably headed higher. Now you can just launch off, always can, but it's got some stuff to work through. It's got that downtrend of highs, and all the way out here would be 200. Usually 220 days past the halving is when we actually get the run started, and that comes up out here in November, right around Thanksgiving for the U.S. So we've got a while. We've got a little while to work through everything. Ethereum dipped down and may dip lower. We kind of did a potential measured bounce here, maybe holding that support, break back above the roadmap line. We got some work to do on Ethereum, and looking at the spot market, same sort of situation. Sitting here at the relatively strong support, but if we break lower, we could come down here. The dollar still churning, maybe bouncing off that prior low, maybe come back up, retest that low before we turn down. This looks like we're probably going to extend lower. Probably. That moved down, that moved up. Check a few other proportions. And we could churn sideways for a little while in the dollar. We did hit some extensions. We did hold that low right there. Just by the skin of the teeth. Look at that. It was below it and then closed right on it in a couple green days. What's funny, the market up while the dollar's up. I thought that was supposed to be inverse. Like everybody keeps telling me, the dollar moves up and the market moves down. The dollar moves down, the market moves up. That's not the way it's been working this week. So be careful out there. MSTR, nice pop in the pre-market. Holding on to it a little bit. We need crypto to keep rallying back up to get this to pop back up. We finally hit that roadmap line. Target right there, 19, 20, 21, 22, and we do have a split coming up out here, 10 for 1. Those have not been super bullish in the market, but that's coming up tomorrow. So I guarantee you this will be under $200 sometime this week. You might want to take the bet. MSTR is going to be under $200 a share. ASML. That's a tongue-in-cheek. That's not a reason to buy it or to buy puts. All right, ASML. I still expect this to drop on down. Resistance going higher right here, right in that zone at the roadmap line. And if we turn down off of that, very easily drop. So you're gonna bet against me that MSTR won't be below 200 this week. I bet you, my bet is that MSTR will be below $200 a share this week. Probably tomorrow. All right. Come back tomorrow. We'll see. I bet you it's below $200 a share. I bet you. We'll see what the quote is tomorrow. It'll be below $200 a share. Anyway, ASML, that's resistance. There's a support. And if it's willing to break out, let's see. Let's just pull this over. Resistance right at the gap down right there. So there's the resistance. Got to clear it to go higher. reinforce. Got to clear that to go higher on ASML. Got to clear this too. And I kind of feel like we're probably might go lower. So, yeah, AXON. My position is that MSTR will be below $200 this week. Just putting that out there. So. Axon popped up to the targets, gave you no entry. It just went right to the target and could extend to 354, but that might retrace again right there. LRCX probably going down. Resistance right up here. Despite the fact this is on the poppers list, I would be careful. We can get a little move lower. Yeah, I don't think so. I bet. We'll see. We'll see. It'll take a heck of a move on crypto, but I bet it'll be below $200 a share tomorrow. Certainly by Friday. We'll have some $200 under $200 a share this week. FNGU. Yep. Resistance right there if we can get up through it. Resistance up here, and then set the stage to go up to 604 potentially. We do have a little more. We have that gap, little baby gap down right in here, and a baby gap down right there. So a couple gaps to work through to go higher. Pet Q. Didn't quite hit the roadmap line. That may go a little lower right there. And if you're just tuning in, reminder, there's a bonus trade at the end. Stick around. We'll get to it. And Shopify. Looks like a nice pop up to the roadmap line. Must have had some decent earnings. Didn't pull in. Let's see. Shopify report DPS. A beat. Gross measure volume up. Oh, that's good. Good for the consumer. Like with Walmart and Target and everybody being so negative on the consumer, Shopify has been getting hit. Potential bounced off the. That's a potential measure bounce. Right there. Potential. I thought we might go a little deeper, but that might actually be super bullish here. That high, that low. We held perfectly. Closing above the roadmap line here could set this off. Could indeed. Leave that 157. That'd be pretty good even with just shares. I may buy a couple shares just to see if I can double, triple my money there. Might even buy 10 shares, maybe 20. It's a pretty good opportunity right there. MSFT, Microsoft. Sitting below the roadmap line, not being very bullish at the moment. Want to get above that, got to get above this, and 480, 490 area would be the target if we can do it. Put this over here. Got to get above this resistance right here. Above that resistance, set it up for that. PANW. Potential secondary bounce in here. So that move up, that retrace, potential measured bounce inside the bigger roadmap bounce here. Roadmap bounce from back here at the last earnings in February, or I guess 2 earnings back in February. And this move up right here, this retrace, 618 retrace, nice. I can set it up for a target up here in this vicinity, around 400. Still the same target. I have shares at 300. I've had them since back here in March, just kind of sitting. And there's ES crossing the upper bound. Jump down, crossing above. Now, this is delayed. My futures quotes on here are delayed by 10 minutes, so that happened 10 minutes ago. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Where were we? Duolingo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That potential to reverse here. That was the target. Kind of spiked it a little bit. Need to break back above the roadmap line on the daily charts. If you want the roadmap line, you don't know how to get it. Well, link is in the description. It's like $5, or you can go back to my YouTube homepage after we're done here. Click my name right below the video, and it's like my favorite indicator. I think I'm making a face like, you watch that. That's the roadmap line. I explain how it works, and it's a support resistance, better than like the 200-day moving average or anything like that. I feel like, and I've got some high probability trades based on it. I mean, look at that. You tell me it's not support and resistance? I mean, we could put another one on and probably highlight some other pullbacks, and it's just a different time frame. See the 4-hour right there bouncing off? It's just a different time frame. These dailies, and it works pretty well. So, good morning from Californication. Glad to have you, Michael. So Duolingo looking for the reversal, needs to break back above this area up here to indicate we're going to go higher substantially, 280 on the upside. Costco, still kind of expecting that one to touch the roadmap line. It's been a good long while since we've actually touched, like back here in May of 23. Good long while. HHH, Triple H, Howard Hughes Holdings. That looks like a choppy sideways hot mess of nothing. Lower highs, higher lows. I don't really want to mess with this because I don't like that pattern. It's a lot of overlapping gnarliness in a squeezy type pattern. I don't like that pattern. It's not a pattern that makes me money. So FTNT potential. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Mentioned that might be a measured bounce. Just setting this up. The target could be, in fact, could be way the heck up here. Way the heck up there. Could be talking 100 to 120. Nice potential on that one. Breaking above the roadmap line. Breaking it. If we confirm it, breaking above these highs, we're probably on a path for 100 at least. GS. Back down to the roadmap line. Oh, so close. So close. Missed it just a hair. That could be all it needs, though. Get the close above that 488 area. Could be going to 527, 536, possibly 563. It was probably a 4-hour bounce right here. Yep. 4-hour bounce. Break above. Let's see what the statistics are for that one. Yeah, 76% of the time in the past, 21 trades. It'd be a pretty fair bet that that one's going higher. If it can get the daily close above that 618. Meta. Yeah, look at this. Might be setting up the measured bounce also. 588 or 558, excuse me, 570. That's the target. If we can close above the 618 today. Target right up there. It's a daily pattern. I mean, it's not just a 4-hour. That's a daily right there. You can take it aggressively on the 4-hour, but there. I'm just saying FTNT may, like, this is not going to be like today we're going 100. It's going to be like maybe 2, 3, 4 months. I'm more of a swing trader, not a overnight trader. ANET. And these are daily charts, so they take 3 to 5 months to work usually, maybe longer. ANET, potentially setting that up for the move up there. A lot of these coming back around. Could see, we may not stop at the resistance on NQ. So if these really get going. Wix, another one of those patterns right there. Close above the 618, 185, 190, 204. CRWD. That's got some stuff to work through. Potential to be a measured bounce right there. Target, if indeed you do, we are. Could be up here at 700. And based on the length of time, that may take a while to do that. So we could be talking, yeah, there it is. I already had it drawn out there. So we could be talking about taking this kind of slope off of this. So we could be talking about out here in 26. Up in that zone. CEG. Constellation Energy. Down to lows. Could bounce. Move up through the 618. Would take us higher to 247. Lots of potentials here. I like it. Netflix. Potential bounce here. Oh, man. Last time we had a good bounce like that, I bought it down here and sold it out with $100 profit on a like 25% on shares. That one could be an aggressive buy. More conservative if you buy above 657, looking for 714, 729, possibly 768 on the upside. QQQ, same situation, like potential setting up a bounce here. Potential. It's, the resistance right there is the red zone on NQ. It's right there. I'm going to color it red just because there's potential to crash if we stop there and turn down in a violent way. That's a danger zone. TSM. If you don't understand that, just watch watch all the morning videos this week and probably last week, because we kind of set this whole haul up from starting Monday last week. TSM right there. Nice. Get the move up and extension. SPY. You see the reoccurring theme here. SPY, same pattern. And this is a red zone on SPY because of the potential to go down further. But 573, 580 on the upside if we can break through this resistance right here. IVV, same situation, same charts, same everything. Potential bounce, red zone, 576, 583. Now, those are all just S&P 500 derivatives. Upstart, well, that one's already on the way here. That high, that low. Close above today, 34, 35 on the upside. That would potentially break it out and could start something bigger. It's been a really choppy sideways, so I would not be expecting huge upside, but it could. It could. SOXX, potential reversal. We got resistance right there. 618 up there. VOO, another S&P 500, same situation. Bouncing off the roadmap line. Red zone right in here. DT. Resistance at the roadmap line. This could be another measured bounce right here. Look at that. Nice big fat move up. Retrace to the 618. That gives the potential, a giant potential. That move up. This retrace. Target. Potential. Oh man, look at that extension right there. 92. Double your money on some shares potentially. Confirmation more on the way when we get above 50. Then more confirmation above 60. More confirmation above 70. 90 to 93 would be the target on that one. USD. Ultra Semiconductors. Lots of potential trades today. And I've got one bonus trade coming up at the end, so stick around to the end. I have a bonus trade set up with the conservative entry. USD potentially bouncing off the roadmap line here. Gonna have to move back up through the 138 to 183. SMH, same situation, same pattern, same everything. I love this pattern, and it's just looking ripe all over the place. Now, this one glanced off the roadmap line. If it can hold that, potential measure bounce there. But not my favorite. How we bounced off of that twice. Could take us up to up in here if we're going to be bullish. If we're going to be bearish, we may just make a higher high than here and turn down again. So that one, I would not expect much more than that resistance right there. If it's going to bust through this, just to move up there. And then if we can get above that, then we can go up higher. AMAT. Still got some work to do to get above right there. And ZS. Maybe heading lower. This is a setup for continuation lower. We're going to have to break above this right here. Going to have to get above this. Color back to orange to go higher. This is important right here. On ZS, that's the resistance. That's the target as long as we're down below it. This will be the target if we can get above it. 275. FSLR. Is sitting on the roadmap line. And Groupon. Potentially pushing lower. I would watch out. 86 would be where I would expect that to go. Resistance right here at the roadmap line. Resistance. And, you know, watch out when they break, you know, like that. That came down to it and went down. This come up to it. If it gets through, we can go up. If it doesn't, down here. So that's kind of the, you know, if we get above, going higher. If we bounce off of it, going lower. BRKB. And until we get there, I don't really follow it. And that missed the roadmap line just barely. We scratched the target. Golly, man, crazy. So we got that high, this low, break above that 618, 455, 460 on the upside. Oh, look at that! Fired off a buy right then. That's crazy. It must be 10 o'clock. Yep, 10 o'clock. And there's a brand new Apollo trade right there, firing off. That high, that low, break above, and rally on, baby. That's a huge potential move. Caterpillar. Looks bearish on the 30-minute. Gonna have to break back above. Gosh. Came down just shy of the target. Just shy. And we're going to have to get back above these highs to signal we're going higher. Double top right there. Double top in resistance. And that resistance wasn't even set till we made this low down here. So that's kind of funny. And 391, 401. If we can break through and go cruising up. SPXL. Leveraged SPX. Super dangerous. 3x leverage. Same pattern, but leverage cuts both ways. Be careful. Right there. That's a red zone on that one. Any of the index ones, all red zones right there at the 618. And LABU, what? That's so choppy and dangerous and long term is just bearish. You know, 4 things don't follow my patterns. Biotechs, leverage, both of those things, and this is 2 of the 4 things that don't follow my pattern combined into one: biotech and leverage. Be careful. EMPH. Resistance, support. We're just hanging with the homies in between support and resistance. You know, support down here, resistance up here, and just hanging in between. Tries to break out, tries to break down, can't do either, and just keeps hanging right in the middle. No conviction. XLK, potential for a bottom. Resistance up here, target up here, 245. DPST. Support, resistance, target. If we clear it, QCOM. Ooh, potential measure bounce there. Potentially holding. Sets the target up here, potentially at 360, maybe even something crazier on the log scale. Could go up to 450. Let's be conservative though. Let's say 360, 300. Let's say 300. Let's be conservative. So that one could rally. Yeah, that's like a double once we get above the roadmap line. Then it confirms above the 618 of the retrace there. It's a pretty nice potential. NVIDIA. also potentially going to bounce, maybe, if NVIDIA can pull its crap together. TECL, another one potentially to bounce. MU, another one potentially bouncing off the measured bounce setup. And let's go more conservative on these. I mean, I like the big upside targets, but more conservatively, like 260, 200, 200, 200, 260, right in there. Much more conservative. Things that move more than $50 typically look better on a log scale, but I'm not sure where to go on log scale on those. That'd be pretty wild. GEV just consolidating in this resistance to go higher. Not enough to do a roadmap line, not enough candles, not enough anything. FAS potentially bouncing. We get back above this 618 at 113, possibly going out to 127. Sony just kind of chopping here. Showing a little strength on the Niki, whatever, showing some strength, but I don't know. IWM, that's just a choppy sideways chart on Sony. That's just a lot of overlap, a lot of nothing. Declining highs and ugh is what I would say. Higher lows, lower highs, nothing so far. IWM, another dangerous chart. Could we go higher again? Maybe, but this also can very, very rapidly go lower from where we went. Return to the roadmap line. We break back above this gap down, and well, could go higher. That's the red zone. To retrace to, hold resistance. If we break above, 233 would be the upside target there. And ARM. Potential to hold here, measured bounce, but if we don't, if we turn down to the roadmap line, could go down just a bit lower, fill that gap. It's potential to go higher, but that's overlappy. See that high, that low, overlapped. That's only a 3-wave up. Bearish so far. So it proves otherwise. VTI, total stock market, same situation as all the S&P 500 ones. Datadog, down to the lows here. And that has potential to launch off from here. Very nice, very nice. Got to get back above the daily roadmap line. Let's just clear. That was the target. Very, very, very nice. Got to it. This high, this low. Break back above here, 143. I'm cautious though because this is a 3-wave up into this resistance for the bigger pattern here. See all those fibs I deleted, that high, that low. We kind of stopped at this 50% retrace with a 3-wave up. 1, 2, 3. That can result in another leg down. Be very careful on that one. I would really want to see some confirmation. Now, you could play a short-term pop into this area. Be ready to book profit if it turns down. Amazon, not nearly as bullish on Datadog as some of the other charts. Amazon, resistance at the roadmap line. It had a large gap down. Strike 2, large gap down. It's just a regular orange resistance. Gonna have to clear that and that whole 618 area, which is right at the top of the gap, to get up to 208. Otherwise, if we turn down, we may come on down to this 120 area on Amazon. AVGO, potential bounce, back above the 618, sets it up for 193. ADI, potential bounce there, back above the consolidation in the 618 here at 231, sets it up for 250. SVXY, it's firing off alerts there. I like it. I like the retrace. I like the potential. I like it. I like it. I want to see it continue to rally right back up. I went through this quite extensively yesterday on what I'm playing, all these prior pullbacks. So there you go. Potential for this to rally right back up in here at the minimum, and up here if we're going to get extensions. TXN, bounce off the roadmap line, back up at the 618, potential to rally to 215. App, same pattern. Same pattern. That high, that low, back above the 618, 96. Lots of these potentially getting ready. PDD, same pattern, back above the 618. Target. Now, China's been kind of rough, so this is Temu, if you wonder what this is. PDD runs Temu. Hear all the, hardly be on the internet and not see an ad for Temu. GTHX. Wow, what a pop. And that's a pharmaceutical. So pharmaceuticals just kind of like do their own crazy thing sometimes. And this may do a crazy thing right back down. So be careful on that. Visa, everywhere you want to be, has been lower highs. We got to break that downtrend. I would not get along that until it's above the downtrend. The 618 up there, all those highs right there too, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bunch of highs right there. If we get through all that junk, 296. Much more clean is the MasterCard chart. We didn't get the close above the 618. If we can, sets that up for 500. Win. Results. Well, we got the targets. 1, 2, 3. So this is let's just clean it up and show you what I'm talking about. Correction. First move down. Second move down. Right to it perfectly. See that right there? Boom. That can be the bottom. It can. That was a beautiful correction. Beautiful correction. Right to the 618. This is actually very nice. Potential. The roadmap line all the way up here, though. Right up in this area. Got to get above that to set this up. Come up here. And basically be a double right there on shares. Wonder where these opportunities are? Well, here you go. If the market doesn't crash, that's set up to go. We don't get a giant liquidation flush out. QQQM. Same thing as QQQ, basically. We bounced off the roadmap line. Been waiting for this for a while, and we can take the market higher again. That high, that low. We break through the red zone. Right there. And new highs. Snow. I bought a share when we were down here. Potential reverse, but long way up to the roadmap line. Long-term bullish on this, but I don't know it's a buy yet. I bought one share as a marker. I'll look for an actual reversal potential. This was the lowest low it's ever made right here. There's no splits, no nothing. This is actually the lowest low it's ever made. And I'm not sure it's the bottom yet. It still could push lower. 75 is still in the cards until we set up a solid reversal pattern here. Have not done that so far. Be careful. Coin is potentially going to bounce off this. That's what I needed right there. I've been waiting for this for freaking forever, and we finally did it. This move down, this move up, that move down, right to the target zone. Now I need to see this confirm. So I need it back above this zone right here to confirm we're going higher to 302. And we may get stuck in that resistance right there, those prior highs from back there, like almost 4 years ago, back in the last crypto run. So, cart, Maple Bear. That does not look bullish. Could be, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't have much to say about it because I don't like that. Not for me. JPM came up shy of the target and did the retrace, and we break back about the 618 to 208. Potential target up there, 220, 224, 230 net. Cloud flare. Having trouble getting out of this funk here. This could be... I don't like that dip. I mean, it kind of held the measured bounce. Kind of. But it only puts it right up here for the target, not a new high. And that's right into resistance. I don't know. That's not overly exciting to me at the moment. I like the ones that are new highs, just like ridiculous new highs, not just meh new high. Google, potential to break above 180 and get 200 basically. Nvidia, potential to break it back above here at 125 and get 150. AMD looks more bearish. We're going to have to break through the roadmap line to get higher prices here. Resistance at that 161 and may result in a dip down to 100, possibly as low as 85. ACMR. Roadmap line. There we go. Well, potential amounts here. Potential. I don't know if it's going to do it. If it does, we get back, like, here's the resistance right here. If we get above that, cruising up here to 50. The problem is we've got this bigger garbly gook going on back here. We retraced to the 618 and we did not make a lower low yet, which unfortunately could result in a lower low. Yeah, that one, I got to put in log scale to even get the right numbers. Yeah. If we break down, going to 4, more than likely right there. So here's the support. Get below it right there. BA. I was looking for that to hit. We may truncate again. Did they actually get a lower low? No, not a lower low yet. Still a higher low. I kind of expect one more little flush and blowing. I really do kind of expect it to give me one more little pop down. Tag that 157 area. Possibly 155. Just kind of expected at this point. And then we can be looking for a bottom and rally up to possibly 600. QLD is hanging here. Remember, stick around to the end. I've got a bonus trade coming up. Bonus trade, if you want to see the details, we've still got a few triggers to go. QLD, potential to bounce up through the red zone and get 115. EWJ. Man, that was a gnarly dip there. Get back above the 67 area, possibly 73, 75. VST, same situation. Bounce off the roadmap line. Back above this consolidation at 91, possibly 113, 120 on the upside. CRL. And I'm not sure we have the bottom yet. Not sure we have the bottom yet. This move down, this retrace. Could go on down to this 169, 185 area right in here. T-Rex. Trex. They made that composite decking stuff, I think. It's like partly wood, partly plastic. In the vicinity of a potential to bounce right there. VXX. Moving up. Now that could bounce off the roadmap line, or it could flush on down. Not clear. Stand with UVXY. We're below the roadmap line. Watch out for a bigger flush out. That's just leverage VIX. And Amgen, return to the roadmap line looks likely. MDGL, pharmaceutical, just kind of chopping, very overlappy. Not a lot to talk about here. Channel, at this point, hanging in the channel. PGNY, the dip may keep dipping. Be careful. NVO, want to see this hold and go higher. If it doesn't, and we do have earnings this morning, missing on the top and the bottom, may result in a bigger dip here. This has been on one heck of a rally for a long time. It's got a lot of air in it right there. SCPX, Scorpius. Is that $1? I don't know that this is gonna prove anything. This looks like a dumpster fire chart. It is 1 for 200. This is an absolute dumpster fire. Don't mess with that right there. Dumpster fire. EMR. Watch out for that to go a little lower. That's very overlappy on that high. It could find a bounce here. But with the way that came up, it may go down a little lower. Dell. I was kind of warning that this may break down below that and get a flush on down to 63 area. EBS, back to the roadmap line. This is a pharmaceutical, biotech, FDA involved thing. Gonna take a move up and extension to 17. TNDM. Usually we find some nice ones in here, but this is all biotech stuff today. Medical specialty. So it's like biotech, pharmaceutical, medical specialty, med tech, any of that stuff doesn't always follow the patterns. So this has got a downtrend cooking. I'm not sure what those lines were. It's got a downtrend cooking here, and as long as we're below it, probably going lower. If we can break above it, head up here to the targets at the resistance zone. DXCM, wow, that got whacked right there on earnings, and that was a lower low, but it didn't quite hit the target, so we may see some relief rally and then another extension down into this area. And SOXS is finding resistance at the roadmap line and may turn lower, as since this is a bear and leveraged semiconductor, as semiconductors go higher, this may go lower to lower lows. HLT, Hilton worldwide. Reminds me of the movie The Step Brothers. And break above 216, head up to 233, 237. ACAD bounced off the roadmap line. That extension lower, 14. JBI. Whew. Not too good. That's just choppy sideways. Sava. Man, that got sparky in the face of a market correction. Let's see what we got cooking here. That was one heck of a move up. Nice potential retrace. That high, that low. Sets this up with a potential. Turn it off log mode. It looks best on log mode. Potential to rally up to like ridiculous levels, and this is a biotech, so we're talking about ridiculous numbers right there. Oop. Ridiculous. I actually have I have like 100 shares of this, I think. TDW. Tidewater. Potential to bounce off the roadmap line. Got the retrace. Finally. Back above the 618.98. 116. Same pattern over and over and over. EDU. If we can break back above this resistance right here, set the stage for going higher. On up here. Trip. Dun, dun, dun. Bonus trade coming up. Trip is down here and looks like it may go lower. Disney. Ooh. If we break down below this right here, earnings holding in there. If we break down, watch out for the move lower on Disney. That can take us down to 73. Lift. Ooh, watch out for the... That's got the setup to push down to 6 on lift. The bonus trade, you're all ready? Everybody ready? Is Yum. Even though it's down today, look at this, baby. This high, this low. We closed above the 618 yesterday. Sets us up for 146 target right here. I'd be like, how do you play it? Any options? Any options out here? Now, how long should we expect this to last? Well, that is a good question, and I have the answer right here. Check this out, right here. This pattern has worked 88% of the time in the past on Yum, and it's a $9 upside potential. A little bit more since we're pulled back just a few cents right there. This was last night after the market was closed. 25 trades since 1997. This has worked out 88% of the time. That's pretty nice, pretty nice. Now, they typically last about 67 days on average, so you need to go out. That's 67 trading days, so that's really getting close to 3 months right there. 3 months. So you need probably look at, we're in August, so we're talking about September, October, November, maybe December. May want to look at December. If you're going to play that move up to 145.87, that's the official target right there, 145.87. Maybe a 140 call if you can afford it. Maybe just shares right there. Make $9 a share. Not too bad. Some people are like, you can't make any money at that. Like, let's see. Let's just talk about $9 a share divided by 136. That's a 6.6% return in the next, 3 months. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. And you could do a cover call. You could do all sorts of things right there. There you go. All sorts of potentials right there. There's the trade, though. Yum. And a high probability, 88%. I may make that the chart of the week. So there you go. That's potentially firing off right there. Well, it did fire off. That's the potential entry right there. And the target right up there. All right. If you appreciated that, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll see you again tomorrow. We'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15. Give me a thumbs up if you like the trade, if you like the potential. If you want more of that, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments down below.